Filmtastic February is a creation of Annie at Obscure Book Adventures. I'll have links to her channel and those of the co-hosts in the description. That way you can watch even more videos dealing with books about movies, movie stars, and the filmmaking process. Broken Mirrors, Broken Minds by Maitland McDonagh is a scholarly deep dive into the films by the Italian director Dario Argento, considered by many to be one of the most stylish auteurs making horror and giallo movies. The book explores exactly what that kind of praise entails by examining what made movies like The Bird with Crystal Plumage, Deep Red, and Suspiria so haunting. It covers all his film directorial efforts from 1970 to 1993, examining his visual styling and other choices that made his movies distinctive and created a lasting impact. A central concern of the book is the exploration of Argento's films as feature-length nightmares in their subject matter and their narrative and visual design. Many of his movies are concerned with the psychological vortex lurking beneath the surface of what we take to be ordinary life, and often a protagonist is drawn into contact with derangement or madness that profoundly alters their life. The plots are exaggerated, often nonlinear, and sometimes nonsensical to the audience, even if they make a kind of crazy sense to the characters, in much the same way that a dream only seems irrational after waking. Along these same lines, many of Argento's films, most obviously Suspiria, are visually arresting not only in moments of violence but also in vibrant colors and strange camera perspectives. The long, illogical tracking shot in Tenebrae before multiple murders puts the audience on edge even more than the sudden killings. Along these same lines is the preoccupation with a type of voyeurism. Often the protagonists are forced to witness strange acts of violence with details they don't fully understand yet are stuck in their minds. In one sense, these characters are surrogates for the audience who are also witnessing these acts and then following the characters who strive to understand or at least gain context to what they have seen, in effect, creating an alternate type of mystery. McDonagh also gives some time to Argento's collaborations with George Romero and Sergio Leone and his work as a producer, helping along the careers of other Italian film directors like Luigi Cozzi, Umberto Bava, and Michele Soavi. His appreciation for horror and related genres and bringing them to the screen in visually unique ways becomes apparent. Broken Mirrors, Broken Minds, while approachable, is written with a bit more of an academic audience in mind, or at least one that has some working knowledge of filmmaking in the latter half of the 20th century. Based in part on her master's thesis, the book contains footnotes, references to contemporary reviews and criticisms of Argento's movies, and presumes a certain cinematic vocabulary. While not something that can be breezed through or meant as an introduction to a particular film genre, this book is a must-read for anyone wanting to learn more about a particular director who's been influential to a wide range of popular movie genres. I didn't come across Argento's work until in college when I started watching giallo movies and was struck by their weirdness. Slowly and without much guidance, I worked my way backwards from the later directors who were influenced by or had worked with Argento before I got to the movies Argento made himself. One of the reasons this book resonates with me is that I can also remember thinking about the nightmare quality to his movies, where I'm drawn into the tension even when I know the situation doesn't make much sense. What school has a room full of razor wire? I find this approach works with horror stories, especially when dealing with untrustworthy and possibly psychotic characters, or with the supernatural, which has no explicable basis. I certainly concur with McDonagh's point that not all of Argento's movies are good, but almost none of them are boring. If you're looking for a horror enthusiast's take on several of Argento's films, among others, I recommend checking out Mike Bracken's channel, The Horror Geek, where he dives into the cinematic sewer to bring you reviews and analysis of gross and disturbing movies. But what do you, the audience at home, think? Are you a fan of Dario Argento or of Italian horror and giallo movies? Has he been unfairly labeled as a director of genre trash? Does he deserve even more credit not only for his movies, but also for the influence he had on directors around the world? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, and also tell us which is your favorite of Argento's films. Many of his movies are available for streaming and are still in print for those who prefer physical media. I certainly recommend watching Deep Red and Suspiria, and The Bird with Crystal Plumage has a place in my heart. However, I will say the movies he's made since the turn to the 21st century are substantially weaker than everything that came before. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my peculiar notions. If you appreciate this channel and want to support it, you know what to do. You can also take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel of another YouTube creator you enjoy. Otherwise, the algorithm will tape your eyes open and make you watch nothing but AI-generated junk. Until next time, enjoy some interesting movies. Live and be well.